Moss here with senior wrestler Austin Kelly. Austin Kelly, one of the best wrestlers in the state, a finalist last year. And Austin, you've got to have your sights set on that state championship this year.
Absolutely, for sure, 100% going for it. Fell short last year, but I'm bringing it home this year for sure.
Do you feel like the experience from last year, being a finalist, knowing what it was like to wrestle under those bright lights, is that something that you feel like will help you coming into this one, or is it just kind of business as usual?
I just have more confidence this year. Being last year, I was lighter, underweight. I mean, I ate breakfast the morning before weigh-ins, and today I had to cut last night, so definitely a different story this year. So
it's got to be such a hard thing for you wrestlers, cutting weight. I mean, you've got to make sacrifices, not just as far as working hard in practice, but I mean, who doesn't like food? And here you are, you're cutting weight, you're cutting out breakfast before. What do you miss the most as far as the food?
Cafe Rio, lunch with the boys, Cafe Rio every day. There's nothing else like it.
So is the plan after you go win a state championship, go celebrate with a couple Cafe Rio burritos? Is that the plan?
Either Cafe Rio or Texas Roadhouse, 12-ounce sirloin. Oh, yeah.
You're probably not alone in thinking about what you want to do after the state tournament. Austin, you actually are coming down, if my memory serves correctly. I think last year you were a finalist at 138. This year you're wrestling at 132. Is that something that's just kind of how things naturally worked out, or did you have that mark that you wanted to go down this year coming into the tournament?
At the beginning of the season, I was actually a 44-pounder, and I got sick, and I threw up 12 times in one day, and I couldn't put the weight back on. So I just decided I'd stay down, and then I hurt my shoulder earlier in the year, so I couldn't wrestle. So it was easier to keep the weight off and just practice. So it was bound to happen.
Now, Austin, you come from a line of good wrestlers. In the Kelly family, you guys know how to wrestle, and you're the next in that line of really good wrestlers. What's it like for you to be able to wrestle in this state tournament where there's somewhat of a legacy with your family? But help us understand for you what it means to wrestle for Wasatch and wrestle in the state tournament.
There's no other school I'd rather be here for than Wasatch High School. It's the best school by far, and it's home to the greatest wrestler of all time. So I'm happy to be from Wasatch. The coaches are the best. There's no other program like it.
I actually want to ask you about the coaches. Coach Wade Disher, you've been able to wrestle for him your whole career, and this is his farewell season. He's retiring at the end of this year. You already mentioned how great the coaches are. Talk us specifically about Coach Disher. What's it like to wrestle for him, and what's he like as your coach?
Coach Disher's the best wrestling, not even just wrestling coach. He's a great man, a great coach, a great father. Sometimes he can be a dink, but he has to be. I mean, he'll say we'll be done at 4:30 at practice. We won't get out of there till 6:30 sometimes, but he means well, and he just loves it so much. So he cares about every single one of his wrestlers like his own kid. So
it's hard to put you on the spot with this, but do you have a favorite Coach Disher memory over your 4 years of wrestling for him?
There's so many, but my favorite memory, we were in Virginia. We went walking around the archives of the museum, and we were in there for 2 hours, just bored out of our mind, and he was the biggest nerd I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah, he gets into that kind of stuff here. How'd you guys get him convinced to bleach his hair this year?
We said if everyone did it, that he would, and he thought everyone did it, but Robbie Whelan didn't end up bleaching his hair, and Disher came to practice the next day, and it was bleached, and everyone was just laughing at him, and Robbie didn't have his hair done. It was funny.
Austin, you come in as the number 1 ranked wrestler in your weight classification, but there's some pretty good wrestlers there at 132 with you. Are there any guys specifically that you've got on your mind that you can't wait to go up against here at 132?
I'm not worried at all. I'm 100% confident in what I'm going to go out there and do and perform.
Do you have a move that you consider your favorite move that we can look for when you're out there?
On top, definitely my bar. I've been practicing that a lot, or my crossface cradle. And then for my feet, probably just a simple blast double, high crotch, see it all.
This is senior Austin Kelly, number 1 ranked wrestler at 132 and a favorite at 132 to win a state championship this year. Austin, best of luck during the tournament, and we hope to see you out there holding up that number 1 place finish at the end of this one.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.